to look at, it's just a little order from Bead Box Bargains. And then I'm going to make the yellow daffodil spacers, well, connectors with my bargain bead box. I've already got one made. See how it looks like a little daffodil from this side? So we're going to use these and make these connectors for a necklace. So, hey Beth. Yes, I was a few minutes late because I was messing with something. Hi Anita. My pins, my new pins I got were making a mess. They kept sliding all over the place, so I was putting them into one of my mugs so that they're have a place to be without just being in the way all over the place. I actually need to get rid of their box because it's sitting here in my way, but that's all right. We'll do it later. So, hey Mary. So, hey Charlie. Now, Charlie, see, we're gonna make our blue daffodils today after we look at my little order. Now, Charlie used my idea and made a necklace with the blue, making the blue daffodils, and it was very pretty. Well, actually, I think you just made earrings with the blue daffodils, didn't you, Charlie? So we're going to make our blue daffodils, and then we may see about, hey, Donna, designing a... Oh, yeah, we can do that. Surprisingly enough, even though my show was quite a few $100s down from normal, seems to be that's happening this year, which is sort of not great. But anyway, Saturday, Friday, because we have a short span Friday. We set up Friday morning, then we start selling it between 3 and 7 on Saturday. And I actually did better on Saturday. So I was, had high hopes, but Thursday, I mean, Friday I did better than normal. And Saturday I did way less than normal. The thing that sold the most was hair accessories. I sold barrettes, hair sticks, bobby pins, though I also sold quite a few pair of earrings and a couple of my fairy dust necklaces. But as far as bracelets, I didn't sell a single bracelet. The only necklaces I sold, like I say, were the fairy dust, though I had some great interest in a couple of them, but I got the, oh, well, I'll come back, and you know how that goes. Anybody who sells at craft fairs knows that usually if they say, well, I'll be back, they won't be. Sometimes they are, and they surprise you. But in general, it's a, nah, yeah, just forget it. Now, I had one lady come back and look at a necklace like 3 or 4 times, and she kept leaving, and then she'd come back and look at it again, and then she'd leave and come back and look at it again. And so I was really hoping, but didn't. So that's the way it goes. And sometimes that's just the way it is. There's, there's nothing you can do about it. Were there any surprises? I sold 3 bookmarks and a pair of hair sticks as well. Not, I turned the notifications off and it's still buzzing at me. It drives me nuts. Yeah, exactly. But one little boy wanted the dragon necklace. Remember the dragon necklace we made the other day? And it was pretty spendy because it was the dragon itself and the fairy silk and those both those pieces were expensive, not saying anything for the beads. And there was a little boy that wanted it. And I want that dragon necklace. And he was trying to convince his dad to buy it. And dad said, no, you don't need it. And I was like, oh, thank you. Because I really didn't want to sell that to a little kid. I mean, he was probably only like 5. Sure, Heather, I'll talk to you later. Um, so, yeah, exactly. If they walk away, they're usually gone. If they come back 2 or 3 times, sometimes you can think, okay, there we go. They're trying to walk away from it, but not really succeeding. But in the end, this lady did succeed. She did not come back for it. So I was sort of disappointed. But that's the way it goes. Anyway, so the little boy, his dad said, no, you don't need that necklace. It's number one, it's too expensive. And number two, it's not a little kid necklace. And I had been going, oh, good. Not that I didn't want the money, but it was just that the kid was probably 5 or 6 years old. And it's, hi, Tina. And like I said, hi, Charlie, hi, Brandy, hi, Dawn. It's not a kid thing, it's one of those things. Sometimes I'll let people buy things for kids that I wouldn't normally, but I don't think I would have that one because I just no. But they did end up buying the 3 bookmarks that sold. So they had 2 little girls as well as the boy. And the boy just threw an absolute fit when his dad said no to the necklace. And so the mom said he could have a bookmark, and he did go for that. Hi, Cynthia. So I don't sell a lot of things that are specifically for kids, Heather, because my liability insurance will not cover things for kids. It's very hard to get liability nowadays that will cover things for kids due to the amber choking thing that happened some years back. So now, personally, I sell them for adults, and if they give them to their kids, did as many people attend the games as in years past, or was the attendance down? I think the attendance was pretty good, actually. There were times my booth was just lined person to person, and then they'd look at everything, tell me how beautiful it was, and then walk away. And I don't know. It might have just been a monetary thing. I do know one of the problems we have down there is that our card readers will only work part of the time because the service is really spotty down there. And I can get it to work maybe one time, and then 10 minutes later, it won't work at all. And a lot of that is because we have so many vendors. And actually, though, this show has less vendors than some of them I've done. They're very particular about they bring in. And but once people start using their card readers, then there's too much jamming up the service, and they just quit. So they do always bring in an ATM. But I had one lady say, well, I need to use a card. And I said, well, we'll see if it'll work. And it wouldn't work at that time. And I said, but they do have an ATM. And she says, yeah, but the ATM charges you. Well, I do too. So, but I don't charge as much as the ATM. But it's, so that was part of it, because the lady didn't have the cash and she wasn't going to go to the ATM. So she said no. But that wasn't a huge sale. It would have only been about $15, $20. So, but I'm sure there are other folks that came that didn't want to use the ATM but didn't bring money, and so they didn't purchase things because the card readers weren't working. Like I say, because of the spotty service. So this is one of the 2 or 3 shows that I do that's around the area that does not have doesn't have service, or if they do have service, it's not the best. Swan Lake used to be like that. You had to bring cash. They didn't have an ATM, and they didn't have service. But the last 2 years, they have bought a satellite uplink for us. So that has worked super good. Um, but I think it was more a matter of the people that did show, it wasn't saying they weren't buying. Some of them do. But do I use Cash App? No, I do not. The only thing I use is PayPal. So, and I know some people that will take the cards anyway, even though the readers aren't working, and will say, well, once the service comes back, then it will go through. But if you do that, then you have that possibility of getting ripped off because maybe the card's no good or the card is maxed or something, and then of course it gets declined when you get to service and you're out whatever they spent. So no, I won't do it if I don't have the service for it. So and because that has happened to me before when I've gone, okay, we'll try it, and then I got screwed. My phone has the option, but I do not have one. My husband and I have talked about it before, but we haven't because, like I say, there's only 1 or 2 shows that I do that has a problem with it, and one of those shows now doesn't have a problem because they have been buying us the satellite uplink. So no. And this one, like I said, if there's not a lot of cards going through, then it's all right. It'll pick it up, and then, but like I say, the next time it won't. So it's sort of one of those things. You don't know whether it's going to do it or not. So yeah, Charlie, I don't, because I have been ripped off once before that way. It was only like about $20, so it wasn't bad. But some of my stuff is pretty expensive. And what if one of those items was on a card and it didn't go through? Then I'm out that. So it's, who wants to deal with that? I don't want to have to deal with it, so I'm not going to. But it actually was a pretty good time. Even, like I said, the games are right between the vendors. I think if you saw my short, I swung around and showed you where they were at. And so we could watch them, even if I couldn't, even if I wasn't making sales, I could watch the games. So that was fun, So it wasn't a problem. I mean, like I said, it was probably, actually, when it comes right down to it, I checked, this is a show I've done for 5 years, and I checked my numbers for all 5 years, and this was the worst year I've had there. And it's probably about $300 down from norm, but it still was almost 500, so it wasn't bad. I mean, for some shows that I would consider 500 to be a really good number. So I'm not, I'm not real. I am disappointed in a way because I do normally make more, but at the same time, I had a profit. Even after I took all my expenses out, I was running a profit. So, it's the way it goes. Sometimes you do really super good and sometimes you don't. So, hi, Brandy. So let's turn down. Let's look at my tiny order here. Like I said, it's only 1 page worth of things, and some of these are repeats from things I've gotten before. And then we're going to make our blue daffodil links. So let's turn down. So as I said, I was pretty disappointed. I was sort of disappointed, but at the same time, it could have been a ton worse than it was, So, and actually most of my sales were in the last couple of hours, weirdly enough. So here we go. Here, get over here. First of all, this is my free gift. I had never seen these before on the website. These are some good sized blue rondelles. They're pretty cool looking. I like them. So the first two, it says, are earrings, 284 and 287. Those are, give me my tray, some ear studs. I wanted to see how they looked. They do say they're nickel free. And these ones are rose, and they were $2.29. See, they look like little roses. Aren't they pretty? I think I may have to use these for myself, maybe with my turtles. So these are really cute. I like these. These were $2.29 before the discount. Open up. Now the second one are also flowered ones. They were $1.99, but these ones are daisies. Cute little guys, aren't they? I think this is our next one. These are like the ones that were in our box. Not this newest box, but the one before. Bohemian Nights that I used in the moon charms. In the moon necklaces. The little flower pieces that were little charms that were in the middle. Oh, you're welcome, Mary. I don't mind having a show recap. Now, part of my problem on Saturday may have been because I didn't get up and down all the time. Normally, when I have somebody come to my booth, I'll get up from my chair and go talk to them and stuff. This time, unless they were showing real interest in things, I didn't really get up too much because my knee was bothering me, and every time I get up and then go back down, it hurts more. So I was being a little bit leery of it. That might have been part of my problem. And my husband, who is always very attentive to my folks, was in a wanderlust mood yesterday, and he kept taking off. But that was all right. He shouldn't have to stay constantly near me. But there they are. Okay, so I have gotten these before. These are the little crystal square charms. One's in gold and pink, and the other one is in gold and rose. I think this one is the pink one. These are very, very pretty in earrings. I actually got a big compliment the other day on my ones with the purple. Do you remember the purple ones that we wire wrapped around? I used those. I wore those the other day. I decided to keep that pair of earrings. Wore them the other day, and I got quite a few compliments on them. This is the other one. These were $1.99 for the pair prior to the discount. It was so sparkly and pretty. But yeah, they are. Next is the frog charms. 6 pieces of those. They were 99 cents for these frogs. You know, Tierra Cast used to have one of these frogs, a frog like this. And turn over, baby. And so 99 cents for 6 is a darn good price. They're cute. So yeah, I think that might have been part of the problem, but my knee was hurting pretty badly. I didn't want to push it too much. It is the one that was hurting was not the one that had the surgery already. It was my other arthritic knee that has to have surgery still. So it was one of those things. Next is 6 pieces of Stegosaurus charms, 14 by 26 millimeter in antique silver. And aren't these cute? Now, I don't normally get things like this because they're cutesy, like I said, but my sister-in-law and my niece-in-law, well, I guess she's niece-in-law because she's my husband's brother's niece, daughter. They're coming to visit, and Lisa, the niece, has 2 little girls. I think one is about 10, and I think the other one is like 8. But I was thinking to talk to her and see if she thought her little girls would like some dinosaur earrings if they've got ears pierced. And if they don't, then I think I have some clip-ons around here somewhere. So that one was the Stegosaurus, and then I also got the Dilophosaurus. These were $1.29. The Stegosaurus were $1.49 for 6, and this is $1.29 for 4 of the Dilophosaurus. Aren't they cute? Well, when I saw them, I thought, oh, it's Brontosauruses, but they say Dilophosauruses, so we'll take their word for it. But those are some little dinosaurs that I thought the girls, my niece's girls, might like. And if they don't, hey, that's all right, because I've got younger people that buy from me, and I know of older folks that do like dinosaurs. So this next one is the 28 by 26 millimeter enameled dragon pendants in black, white, and dragonfly. Sorry, 4 pieces, 18 by 24 rhinestone dragonfly charms in gold. They are $1.69. Now, I thought these would be beautiful for earrings, but they also would be probably really nice on hairbreadth. So that's why I got a second package. I'm thinking I might try putting some of these on a hairbreadth because they're so pretty. But also, dragonflies is one of the things that sells really good. 2 of the hairbarrettes I sold had dragonflies, and one of the earrings. So, dragonflies and butterflies always sell good. You got some of these too, Beth? Yeah, they're cute, aren't they? So next is the 28 by 26 millimeter enameled dragon pendant, black, white, and gold. I got 2 of these. They were $1.09 a piece. I thought they were pretty. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use these on like a bookmark or some hair sticks or a pair of earrings. I'll have to think about it, but they are pretty. But they are only enameled on one side, so. Now, because there's a hole right here at their tail, you actually could hang something down from the tail area too, if you wish to. I personally wouldn't try punching a hole in these if you were thinking about doing that, because enamel tends to pop out when you put it under pressure. So that is something to think about if you want to do something like that. So now we're going on to 4 pieces of 18 by 23 millimeter glow in the dark enameled bat charms. Now, I hadn't originally planned on getting these, but they were really cute. And again, these are one of the things I thought that my niece's daughters might like, especially since they're glow in the dark. And there's 4 pieces, so they'd make really cute earrings. I haven't lit them up to get them to see if they'll really glow. They say they do, but I haven't tried it. Excuse me. So there's the glow in the dark. They're cute little bats, though, aren't they? But, come on, get back in your baggie. Next is 23 by 19 millimeter enameled black cat on a crescent moon pendant, $109 a piece. I got 2 of these. They're really cute. So, isn't it pretty? I really like this little guy. So, black enamel cat on a moon. Next ones, I got 2 of these also, but I thought these were so cute. Coffee cup, enameled coffee cup charm with a croissant. It's adorable. These will make some cute earrings. But I did get 2 of these so that I could make some earrings out of them. They were $2.99 a piece, so they're a little spendier, but they're cute. I really thought they were cute. Next is 22.5 by 12.5 platinum plated brass and cubic zirconia coiled snake large hole bead. Now this is this one. Yep. And I hadn't seen these when they had them originally, and these are a redo. It's your hole right here, but see this snake? He's cute. He's cool looking. So I will have to put him on probably on a leather necklace. Now I got one in silver and then I got one in gold. These were $3.99 a piece for these. So one of those things you don't want to get a ton of to use in one piece because they are pretty spendy. Oh, he's got some cubic zirconia on his back. I didn't notice that before. On the top of his head here and down his neck. Is it on this one too? Well, it looks like it is. Cool. So that's the large hole snake beads. Those will probably go on some leather necklaces. So come on, go into the baggie. Now I got 2 of these again. These are the little pumpkin ones. I got some the other day as well. I thought these were really cute, and I am fairly positive that I will be making some earrings with these with my sister-in-law and my niece. So I think they're really cute little pumpkin guys. Now these are ones that I could put a hoop around, but we'll see what I decide to do. These were $1.29 for the pair of them. Hey, Kimberly. Well. Okay. Now I got some pine cone charms. There's 4 in the bag here for $2.49. I've had pine cone charms before, but they weren't this big. These are a little bigger than I'm used to having pine cone charms. Now, I will tell you that if you like these a lot, but you want them like to act like they're in a winter scene, you can take some a little sponge and some white fingernail polish and just dab it. Don't try to paint it, just dab it, and then it looks like there's snow on your pine cones. So there's my collection up there of critters and things because, well, it's cute, number one, and it doesn't actually have an official hole. It's just your handle you use as the hole, so it works pretty good. Hey, Tammy. So then the next thing is stainless steel laser cut ghost pendants. Now these sell as the pair for $2.29, but they've got them individually wrapped. I imagine, and now one's on the floor. Where'd you go, baby? There it is. Oh, because I imagine so they don't get scratched up by each other. But they're really cute. And they are $2.29 for the pair, so about $1.15 a piece. Aren't they cute? Now, I will tell you, if you wanted to paint these, you have to scuff them up. Stainless will, when it's really buffed like this, will not take paint. So it's keep them that way, or take some sandpaper to them to buff them up and then paint them. So there's our little ghosts. Now I have one of these pendants. We've had them before. Where's your paper thing? Oh, it goes good this way. Good. This is the Amazonite one. I got some more because if you'll recall, my original two did not match at all. So I got another one thinking that maybe I can get a match. This looks like it's got a slight bend here, and I have to see if I can. Oh, there. It was easy. So I'll have to see if this matches one of my original ones that I got. I think it will, because I think one was lighter and one was darker. So I think this will match the lighter one pretty well, hopefully, since that's why I got it, was to so I could take off the little bail and make these into earrings. And then because I did want to make earrings, I got another one of these amethyst ones. Oh, there's a sharp spot right there. I'm going to have to see about getting that out. Oh, it's the glue. Interesting. Where they put the stone in with. So we'll have to be careful pulling that out. Of course, if I pull too much glue out and the stone falls out, I guess I'd just have to re-glue it, right? But, so there's the little amethyst one. I think it's very pretty. I like it. Amethyst twist pendant, hexagon twist pendant. And the last thing I got was some more of the corrugated rondelle spacer beads in silver. These were $1.49 for 50. So that's the last of my little order here. And this order cost me $45.14 after the discount of $17.68 and the shipping of $3.99. So I think this was a really nice little order. And I also have some more large hole Dakota stones coming. I think they said they will be here today, so that will be nice. So we have plenty of large hole beads to make leather necklace with. But now we're going to work on our blue daffodils. Now see how I'm going to put it on these connectors they gave us, or most of them anyway. I also brought out one of my filigree pieces because I'm going to put these in a necklace when I get them done. So we have our square flower. We have our regular flower. I have some yellow bicones. Now these are 4s. And then I have some more of these little pieces here that we're going to hook them onto. So how we're going to do these, so we're going to just put everything back but the one that we're going to do right now, is we're going to take, we're going to get a small piece of this wire. This is 28 gauge wire. You could use a larger gauge, but you wouldn't want to use too much larger because otherwise it's really hard to wrap and you can't get through the small holes that easily. So I'm just going to take off a piece. Now this clip is really tight on this thing, so trying to give me problems, but that's all right. So just cut off a small piece. This is probably about 5 or 6 inches. You don't need quite that much. But what we're going to do is we're going to fold this sort of in half. Down. So it's sort of halved. We're going to take this little bicone. We're going to slip it down over the top and go down here onto the bottom of it. Then we are going to fold it in half, and we're going to make sure it comes all the way down like so. Now it's going to go into our square piece here, which is going to end up being the middle part of our tulip. Why are you not going through? What's going on here? Do you have something in you? Yes, you do. Not sure what that was. It went away. I think it went on the floor as it came out, but looked like a little seed bead or something. So you want to pull this up tight so that your little crystal is right down with your daffodil piece here. Now we're going to take it and they're going to go through our big blue flower. And then we're going to go through the very middle of our connector piece here. So right through here. Now we're going to take our wires and we're going to pull them to either side. Look like a little piece of yellow glass. Weird. So now that this is pulled to the sides like this, we're going to move this around to this area. Hold it tight here, and then we're going to go up to the loop and loop around it twice. I'm going to do the same to the other side. Now this is going to feel awfully wobbly, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take our piece of wire that's left, and we're just going to wrap it around the base here where the wire comes out. I'm going to do the same with this other side. Come on. And if you have to, you don't have to do this. If you don't want to wrap it around the base of your wire down here, you can always just wrap it maybe 3 times around your ring and then just clip it off. And if you can't get it in there, you can always use your pliers to do it with. And after I get a few, I'm going to go in there and I'm just going to clip it off. And now the only thing this is doing right here is sort of keeping the wire, taking the wire out of the place up in the above. So it's not, you don't have to worry about trimming it close to your link. But it also will stabilize the bigger flower some because it won't wobble around as much. So there's 2 of them. Oh, well, if you've got the creative bug, then you got to use it. I mean, you got to put it to work. So now I'm going to make 4 of these like this. And then this last one is going to be used on this big guy. And this is going to become our focal. guys can go back in here till I decide to put you together. So this is going to work more or less the same way, except for we'll go through this big hole, and then we're going to come up and wrap around one of these little notches here, and then come back in and wrap around again. I may just cut a couple pieces of wire off here because this clip is so stiff in here. But then without the clip, the wire comes loose. So I'm just going to cut a bigger piece for this one we're working on right here. And see what I mean? There she goes. Come on, stop. I'll just cut this one in half for the other two when I go to doing them. So anyway, this is going to be just the same. You're just going to take your little piece of wire and you're going to fold it more or less in half. Get your bicone on there. Bring it down to the base, then pull it up so that it's pretty tight. Go through our square flower. Pull it up tight. Through our big guy here. Now, if you didn't like these wiggling around at all, you could also put in a touch of glue to keep them in place. I'd use E6000 if I was going to use a bit of glue on these. So now this one's going to go up in here. And we're going to pull our wires to either side here. So she's sitting there in the middle. Pull this up, and we're going to go through here. Right here where this bar is, and I'm going to go back through again. And then we're going to go back up this way. Come on, you, go up. And you could do that a couple of times if you're concerned about it being loose. So just go up and through again, pull her tight, and back through. Now we're putting it back through to the front because remember, we want to take it down and wrap it around the base of the flower. So we're going to come over here just opposite to where this one was. There's another bar right there. And we're going to do the same thing. Okay, now that we've got that done, we're going to take and bring these wires around the base again. Now, I painted the filigrees the last time I used them, so I could have painted this one, but I didn't. So I'm going to cut this extra wire off now. Which leaves it sort of loose there, and you can pull it around some more if you want. Just make sure it's staying put. So there's is going to be our focal of our necklace, having this guy worked like this. Then these are going to go up the sides, and as will the other two when we get it done. Hey, Cindy. So, we have our dark blue daffodils. You know, I was thinking the other day about these, and I was thinking to myself, they needed to give us some dark blue beads so we could pull these colors out, the dark blue out of our pieces, but they didn't. And I should have cut this a little bit longer, but it'll be all right. So pull it up tight here through our flower. Make sure it's tight down in there. Go through the big flower. Through our little connector. Now what I'm looking for is the connectors do have a slightly different look to front and back. So pull these tight. Hold this while I bring this one up and around twice. Do the same over here. Now this is one of those ones where I didn't leave a lot of wire, so I am going to take and use my pliers to pull our little wraps around here. Okay, there's number 3. Hey, Sid. There's Montana Blue Crystal, Mary. That's the only thing I can really think of that's about this color. Or Navy Goldstone is close, but not quite this color. It's more of a cobalty kind of color, but pull tight. All right, go down on in there. You're not going. There we go. So there we go. There is all our daffodils all made. That's true, it is. It does. It is an odd blue. Black fire agate would work. It's dark denim blue, not black. So what I want to do is we're going to have these up the edges like so. With this as our focal. And whatever beads I decide to use, we might end up making a dangle down here at the end of our focal piece here. And I haven't really decided what beads work best with this. I did bring out some yellow, these are little 4x4 bicones. I did bring out some other yellow bicones so that I could, that's not quite the same yellow, but I was thinking it might be nice to bring the yellow out of the flowers into the necklace. So we'll put this back in here right now while we decide. I've been trying to decide which of the beads in the kit work best with this. And I'm leaning towards the petrified wood and these little slate blue guys here. They're not the same. There is some little bit of blues in the petrified wood. Not a lot, but some. We also still have some flower of these square flower pieces left if we wanted to sort of put them sideways in the bunch. I think I have 5 or 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could use them like this. The petrified wood would work nicely with the, yeah, I tend to agree. Uh-oh, what did it just do? We also have these pretty guys. But frankly, I'm almost deciding to hoard these because I really look at them. Aren't they pretty? They sparkle. Sorry. We have bead caps. Since we have the filigree, we could bead cap stuff. Of course, we also have these guys here, which has a lot of this. The blue is almost works. You know, I'm hoping they have some more of these when they release the box extra twos. I'm not really usually a person for cubes, but boy, I love the sparkle on those, and they are just so pretty. And they're faceted cubes rather than just cubes, so I like them a lot. So those and the red The red drum beads were probably my favorite. I like drum beads. So who knows? I may put them together. So I'm thinking. Not sure if I want to use these guys in here. Or just put these in here with another little yellow piece close to them to pull the flower stuff together. You're a little leany. Cut these apart and see what we want to. Personally, I wish these were not matte. I think they would go a lot better, but don't always get what you want. Are these done that way on both sides? Yes, they are. He's going to need the stuff cut off of him. These I've got are strung on little tiny metal wires, so. Okay, over here with you. So okay, oh, come out of here. Dark blue lapis, soft flex. Closest we're going to get to this bead color here. So all I'm going to do right now is just do a little experimenting for a little section, see what it looks like. Oops, not both bead caps froze. Is this another one of those with something inside it? Yes, it feels like it is. Weird. Well, I'll just grab another one for right now. Come on. Okay. 2.5. That might be all right. What do you think, guys? I'm debating if I want this section to be this long or if it should be shorter. If it goes shorter, I'd just take off these two end ones right here and go like this. That might be better. Will they poke into the neck because they seem a little pokey? They're not hurting my finger, but they might poke a little bit. But yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want just this shorter strand like this, or if we want the longer strand by adding the two on the other side. I'm sort of leaning towards the smaller strand. Because I think that might be a little longer than I want it, but between these pieces, and then of course the rest of it will just be beaded up the back, or I'll put some chain on. The shorter, Dawn, yeah, that's sort of what I'm leaning towards too, is the shorter section, like this, rather than with the extra of these. And I'm also leaning towards the lighter of the petrified woods. So come back here, you. I need you down here. Okay. Actually, we're going to flip this. We're going to make this one the top one, and we're just going to put this one on right here right now. Oops, need the crimp tube. This Saturday, we're going to go down to a new Renaissance fair. My husband and I, we're not vending. We're just going down to visit, see if we like it for vending in the future. So that's what it's going to look like for the strands till we go up to the other side. So now we will, come here you, take this guy off till we put the blue one on, because we didn't put the blue one on yet here. Get out of the way, sweetie. Oh yeah, this is the one with something inside it here. Looks like a little hunk of glass. Oop, get you out of the way for right now. Now, if you'd want to do something like this, you could also do put the necklace parts together with the connector and stuff prior to putting making your blue daffodil onto your connector, because, well, there's no specific way it has to go in. Come on, baby. I need you to go. There you are. A little bit more. There we go. Yep. Okay. Okay, there's our two sections. Well, thank you. You love the little pop of yellow. Yeah, I think it needed a little pop of yellow to bring the flowers back together, so to speak. Now we're going to hook this onto this baby, and we got to decide where we want to hook it on. I'm thinking here and here, and that way we can put a dangle down here on this end, and maybe with this, I think I have one remaining flower in the box, so we could do like and one of the crystals down below for a dangle down here at the bottom. So we don't want these darker ones. They're too dark. So go for these guys. Okay. Get some more wire out and do this next section. This is one of those areas that I might debate a wire guardian. I don't usually use wire guardians because Softlex doesn't really need it, and I have broken wire right at wire guardians, but I think that this piece may be sharp enough that I do want one. So I will see if I can find my wire guardians here. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. That's I don't think we need that many. 2 is quite sufficient. But I'm going to test. Now, when I'm going to use a wire guardian, which like I said, I rarely do, I'm going to run my finger across the base of them and make sure there's no sharp spots. Because when you're putting on a wire guardian, you're actually just putting on another piece of metal. And it's supposed to be to protect the wire from metal, but sometimes what you end up doing is having a sharp little piece on your wire guardian, and then instead of guarding your wire, it actually will break it. So so what we're going to do is get out another bit of wire here, since I have a good, throw the clip on the ground. Always a wonderful thing to do. We're going to string this up just like we did the other ones. Boy, a lot of mine have something inside them. Very weird. I have to clean that out. Anyway, this is one of the few times I'll use a wire guardian because I believe that our metal filigree is probably sharper than our guardian is. So we'll just put you through here. Come here, you. Go on there. There we go. Helps if you put the frickin' crimp tube on, Rose. Fine. It doesn't want to come off, so we're going to have to cut it and cut the beads off because I got it on here and now it doesn't want to come off. There we go. We got it off. Helps if the crimp tube is in first. Sort of tell I don't use these very often because I forgot to put the crimp tube in. Now, you can go through here again. Nope, this spot right here. Go. Come up here, crimp. All the way up. Now I was pushing the wire guardian sides together so I could get my crimp tube down there pretty close and not have a lot of extra wire sitting there. Okay. Come on, you guys, up you go. Anyway, what I was saying is that there's a new Renaissance fair going to happen down in Missoula this weekend. So we're going to go check it out, see if it's something we want to apply for next year. And just have a fun Renaissance fair experience instead of being vendor all the time. Okay. I'm going to clip this guy off. Now we got to put the other side on. Now, if you wanted to make this like 2 strands now, you could do that by looping another strand, hooking it up, and then maybe bringing it down here to here, or even back up to the same spot and just make a... Hi, Dawn. But yeah, you could make another strand coming down through here and either just make it a bigger loop into here or bring it all the way down to here. And that would be fun. And you could do it on both places, just make another loop of beads. Of course, you wouldn't have our little flower because I don't have but one more other than this. And well, I think we're going to use that one as the dangle. So, and this has got something in it again. Ooh, really close to this side, it looks like. Maybe more than that. What the heck have we got going on here, Val? Well, if I can't get what this is out of this without breaking it, then we may end up having to... Oop, there it came. Huh. It's like a little plug of glass. Weird. Don't know why that would be in there. Maybe the drill didn't push it out all the way. Anyway, so let's get our last strand going over here. And make our dangle at least here. What time is it? Ooh, we're almost at an hour and a half. I think we'll put the other side on and then the dangle, and then we're going to be done, because we're going into the time frame where Heather's going to be working, and we don't want to do that. So let's get... I'm going to have to find the clip after a bit so I don't have lapis wire all over the place, but I'll probably do a strand up at the top without the this pretty in the middle of it, of course, and then maybe chain from there. We'll see what we decide to do. But oh, I need some more, a couple more bead caps. It's a good thing we have a couple more bead caps. See, we need 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if we're going to do a dangle or something like that, here's the last one of these for the dangle. And you never can tell. I may decide that we need to make a second strand on here somehow. Decided to grab that one off the strand because it's was a slightly lighter color than these ones are. We decided we didn't really like these darker ones, so this orangey one would work. Maybe we'll use that one for our in our dangle. Okay, there's our piece here. We got to put our stupid wire guardian. Sorry, that's not nice calling it stupid, is it? Okay. We're going to go over, we're going to skip this section and go over to this one. Bring you through here. Then bring it together. Now what I'm doing here is I'm pushing the two sides of the wire guardian together so they come closer to the middle. See how I did that? Now I'm going to bring our crimp tube up. Come on, crimp tube. Both wires, babe. Oh, my fingers just popped. Yeah, this lapis is a really pretty color, and it really pulls the colors together on the piece. So you flip over properly. So here is how we are so far. Now I'm going to make a dangle for down here at the bottom, which will do two things. It will put some weight on the bottom of this so that it's pulls it down easier, but it also adds a little more decoration down there. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this guy set here, and this guy. And then I'm going to get one of these. And a bronze. And I'm going to knock a whole bunch of things down because, hey, what else do we want to do here? So now we get to make the choice of whether we're going to jump ring this on or if we're going to just wrap it right into here. Because it would be just as simple just to go. Now the trickiest part now, because I am hardwiring it, is to not knock anything else loose while I am wrapping this baby up, since I have all kinds of bits and pieces of things here. Oop, come here. There's our dangle in place. And there's our, she wants to, so now I have to decide, do I want to put chain up the back or do I want to bead the whole thing? I am probably going to do at least a little beading by doing a couple of I will at least put like something like this at the back side so that it's not entirely trying to just go to chain from here. And I have to decide if I do have any bronze chain I want to use. I did get this rope chain the other day, but I'm not real familiar with it. I don't usually use rope chain because I don't like trying to grab the ends of it. I'm never sure if I've got enough to call it good. Such a weird ending. But actually that wouldn't probably look bad with it. Not sure if it needs something a little thicker though. So since we have been on for an hour and 40 minutes, I am going to set this aside. And we'll pick up where we left off tomorrow. And that gives me a little thinking time on what I want to do to complete it. But there's where we are so far. Like I say, I am going to at least put a little beading up the other side. Whether I do it just one tiny section like this, or if I go and put another, here I'll show you on the wire. It's easier if I do it on the wire so you can see what I'm talking about. I could just do a tiny small section like this to put on the back, and then add some chain from there, or we could do a slightly larger section with this. Well, frankly, I think that's a little bit blah. So what I would probably do is, since we don't have any, I do have bronze daisy spacers, but I might bring our yellow. Oh yeah, I'm liking that better, though I probably would get some bronze, either bronze daisy spacers or other bronze pieces here. But I do like this. And this is another thing you could do if you wanted to make this into a two-strander. You could also do something like this around for your second strand. So you would go like this. Though I'm not sure that this strand isn't too short. No, it's about the same size, so it could go like so. If we want to if we decide it needs to have two strands, which it could easily do just by adding on the other side. So I'm sort of liking this piece, so I'm going to just, this is going to kill a little bit of my wire, but I think I'm just going to, excuse me, cut this loose here, and we'll keep it with it, and we'll decide if we want to go up the back with this piece. If we want to do it as another strand, we could do. And then do multiple strands that way. We can just put this little bit up the back and then add chain to finish it off. But I think we're going to set it aside until tomorrow. So it looks like a few folks have already taken off. I think I know Dawn said she was leaving. So anyway, so far we are like so. So I will probably put these upper daffodils up close to the collarbone, maybe a little bit below, so that here I'll back up so you can see what I mean. Some here. Come on, back up. Chair doesn't want to move today. So they'd be sitting right about here and go from there. So yeah, and I think the little dangle on the bottom filigree one looks pretty good. Wants to twist on me a bit here, but that's all right. We'll see how that dangle looks down there. I like the looks of that. So it's yeah, it's coming together nicely. I'm liking it so far. So like I said, I'm not sure how I want to end it, whether I'm going to end it with that little design I just showed you. If I'm going to put in a second, I may decide to put in a second strand so that it's not a single strand necklace. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, they do. It does look pretty good. Thanks. Thank you. I'm glad you guys think so. Anyway, I'm gonna put it aside, and then we will debate how we're gonna finish it up. I might give it some debate tonight. I might wait until tomorrow, until we're all together again, and just, you know, send some ideas off you guys, see what you guys think. I think we've done that quite a bit, and things have turned out really nice with some collaboration, as we all know. And so, you know, that may be what we decide to do with this too. I'm still debating. I like the looks of this little bit of extra strand. It would look great on the back, and then finish it up with some chain or something. Or like I said, we could even just put it as a next strand on the sides. Though I might want to add something else to it if I'm going to do that, just so it bows out a little bit, so it's not just snugged right up to the other side, but it's pretty. So we got all kinds of options we can do, and I think we'll probably explore those a little bit tomorrow. So we'll see you all later. I hope you've been having a nice time. And I know I have been. It's turning out pretty nice. I'm liking the way it's looking so far. And I think it's gonna turn out nicely. So everybody have a nice day. I'm going to go over and see what Heather's up to in about 10 or 15 minutes. So we'll see you all later. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and have a great day. Bye-bye.